Hi guys, it's me Ty here, and today I'm going to show you guys how I safely put the hip caps on this hip roof garage here. So it's got 4 roofs on it and then 4 hip caps. And I looked all over YouTube, and like there are pretty much no videos on how to put a steel roof on this style of building. It's always all about the gable roofs with only two roofs on them. So there's my hip roof trim. And I bought all this stuff here at Menards is where I got it. And I still do have to trim off the end of it, but I just got it where it overhangs just a little bit there. And then I also had to specially order the gutter apron at the base of the roof too. So first things first is whenever you're doing a metal roof like this, you got to go ahead and cut 1x4s, install them. You put one at the very base here, and then the next one will be 24 inches on center. So in other words, 20 inches between your 2 boards. So that's what I did, is I just cut 2 little boards that were 20 inches long, just set them there. That way I don't have to grab a tape measure every time. And I went all the way up with them to the top, and then there on the hip, trimmed it out like that. So, and then I did the same on the other side of the hip there. So, and then this one did have a chimney on it too. So the first thing I did is, with me just working on this job here myself, normally when I work on like anything down at the base where I'd have to put in screws, I would have a second guy, and I would have him on the other end, up here on the roof, on the other side of the peak, and I would tie this lariat around my waist, and he would just lower me down there. But I didn't have anybody else, so I decided that instead of just mass production of just doing all the roofs, I decided to do the first roof first. So now I have all my purlins to walk around, because this is a really steep roof on this garage, you guys. So I finished tinning this here entire roof. Then I got over to this side here and I tinned this second roof. And then on the third roof here, I tinned it until I could just get past the peak area here. So that way I could start doing my ridge caps. So I went down to this one here, and I actually put the ridge cap, they're 10 foot, it's a 10-foot ridge cap is what it is. I put it in from the bottom. I used the 8-foot step ladder, and I was actually able to get, I don't know, maybe 2 to 4, 6, or yeah, probably 4 or 6 screws in down at the bottom. And then what I did is, on this building here, they actually had the lightning rods up on top of it, just like on that old house there. That's also got lightning rods on it. See them right there. And how I took them off is I just grabbed on them with a pipe wrench and was able to unscrew them. And then that's what they look like right there. They're just threaded. And it actually looks like a roof anchor. It has actually 2 nail holes on each side. And I didn't really trust that, but my purlins here, I put them over one side of it to help secure it on each side, so it would not pull out and would be strong enough for my weight. And then I tied the lariat around it, and I put, I believe it was 2 or 3 square knots in it. Don't use the granny knots. Square knots are stronger. So like I said, I got the 4 bottom screws in on that bottom 10 piece, because this is 2 different 10-foot sections that I did here. And after I got those in as far up as I could reach from the extension ladder, went ahead and I tied this off here, tied the other end of the lariat around my waist, and wrapped around how I wrapped it. I'm gonna set you guys down here. Okay. this is how I wrapped it around my arm here. So I could grab onto it. It was wrapped around my wrist, and I had a second coil there. And I would just slowly let out coils there to lower myself down. I just sat on my butt, and I just slid backwards down the ridge cap until I get to each one. And I had my leather carpenter's belt on it with my DeWalt 18 volt gun, and I was able to put in just a little a drill bit. And you want to secure your ridge cap there into the actual top of the rib or whatever. So I'd have to drill the pilot holes with that drill bit, and then have to take it out each time and put in the hex head bit to screw in the screws there. And I would do 2 of them at a time, 1 on each side there, and just because I didn't want to get ahead of myself. I would just, and yeah, so I lowered myself down each time, and I got each one of them. And then as for coming back up, it was a huffing match. I just got on my belly, and I just pulled myself up with my left hand pretty much, and had the gun in my right hand there. So got those 2 like that. And then as for this side here, because this side here you can't get a loader tractor or anything back there, but on this side here I actually just set the loader tractor down right below the hip roof there. And then I was able to just use that 8-foot extension ladder to get up in the bucket. And I was able to set that trim up there and crawl up quite a ways, got quite a few screws in. And then I went ahead and I just came down the rope on this side here again. So now I've got the rest of this hip roof to do here. Gonna go from this side. And what my plan is I decided that I'm gonna go and put the tin in on this side here and just work my way over here. And after I get to the point of just past the center here, I'm going to go down and tie the lariat onto this other lightning rod thing here. Like I said, it's only $21 at Menards for the roof anchor to do that, but I'm lucky that this building actually came with these anchors already on it. So I'm just going to go and do that bottom one from the bottom, and then lower myself down to get all the screws in. So if you guys like this content, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll just keep kicking out money-saving videos for you guys. All right, take care.